Number two of the Art Lewis Show. Open phones today, 989-752-6111. And Jonathan Dent sitting in with me this morning.
I'm actually here today.
Yeah, you are.
I couldn't escape to a press conference. Didn't have one of those. So.
Good. I have a question to ponder. We'll talk more about it. We do have a call waiting, but here is the headline. Are you loyal to brands or does price matter?
Ooh. Depends on the brand.
Well,
I
there was
don't
a survey
think
taken.
I don't think I can give up Pepsi. And that's about the only thing.
Ugh, I could give that up in a minute.
Ooh.
Coke is much better.
No.
Sorry about that. But there was a big survey done. We'll go over some of it, but I thought that was an interesting question, because what the survey shows is percentages more and more because of the cost of things, where people were absolutely brand loyal at one point. As those brands increase in prices, they become less loyal.
Mm-hmm. I grew up on generic brand stuff.
See, I didn't.
So.
I grew up in a branded household.
Okay.
You know, when it came to coffee, it was Maxwell House. Nothing else would do. Even simple things, your basics were the same brand over and over and over again.
I don't mind generic for most things. Now, like, there are certain things that are
either.
absolutely different. But, like, I'm a generic brand guy 90% of the time.
Absolutely.
Just
Nothing
not
wrong
for
with
pop.
them. I think in our heads, because generic was cheaper than the brand, we thought the product would be cheaper than the brand. But in fact, A, a lot of the brands are canned on the same line.
Yep.
And B, products are very, very good.
Mm-hmm.
And so why spend the extra money on just buying a name? That's like in the automobile industry. You can buy a Ford or a Chevy, and when you need to fix it, you get Ford or Chevy parts.
Yep.
And they're within reason. You have an expectation of reasonableness. Buy a Porsche, on the other hand, and that same fix will cost you 3 times the price, because you're buying that name. There's a premium to the name.
Yeah.
So it's just, I don't know. I have to admit, I'm brand loyal in a lot of ways.
Okay.
I always have been. So, all right, let's head to the phones this morning. Carl starts us out in Saginaw. Good morning, Carl.
Good morning, Art. As far as being brand loyal, sometimes it just makes it easier to shop. You're just going to get the same toothpaste you got last time. You're not going to spend 10 minutes looking at all the different choices they have. It's just too much work.
Well, I think it points out it depends on the product. Depends on the product.
Yeah. You were talking about the Castle Museum last hour.
Yep.
And I believe you mentioned a few weeks ago that you have a walnut tree in your yard.
Oh, yeah, black walnut.
Black walnut tree. Did you ever see the little display at the Castle Museum about walnut trees in Saginaw?
I don't think I did. I'll have to
Well,
look for it.
there's just in a little alcove. There's a thing, and it caught my eye because we have a walnut tree in our yard. It said walnut trees in Saginaw. In the late 1800s, the mayor of Saginaw traveled to Mount Vernon, Washington's home.
Yeah.
And he came back with like 20 bushels of walnuts.
Wow.
And apparently they planted them all around Saginaw.
No kidding.
Because they weren't native to this area.
Yeah.
And the tree we have is a good 100 years old in our backyard.
I think mine too. What's interesting about it is that the black walnuts fall, and for humans, they're hard to crack open. I mean, you can run them over with a car, and it's hard to get them open. The squirrels, on the other hand, don't seem to have any problem with them.
They're all over my lawn, too.
So I leave them out. I leave them out for the squirrels.
Yes, and when they come down from the tree, they come down hard.
I don't like to stand out there when they're coming down.
No, not at all. No, it's kind of a messy, painful tree, but it's big, it's huge.
Yep.
It gives us a lot of shade.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I like to think that it came, it has a connection to George Washington.
Yeah, absolutely. There you go. There you go. All right.
Thanks, Art.
Good enough, Carl. Thanks.
Jonathan, have a good one.
You too.
Bye-bye
I just
now.
looked it up, Art, and it's William Linton, who was serving in Congress when he sent just barrels of walnuts from
No kidding.
Washington's estate. Yeah.
All right, let's talk to Scott in Saginaw. Scott, good morning.
Hey, morning, Art. I got a few things here. First, I wanted to just start with what I see as some in the left just dripping once again with hypocrisy. Donald Trump primaries a few people out in the Republican side, and the left just goes absolutely bonkers over this, calling Donald Trump every other name, da-da-da. But then I think back just a few years ago, we had this brilliant woman named Nancy Pelosi, who was Speaker of the House, and she would tell these people, if you don't vote the way I want you to vote, I'm not going to give you money, and we're going to primary you out.
Yep.
The left and the media said, what a strategist, what a wonderful woman.
Yeah. Funny thing about that.
Yeah.
Listen, it all depends whose ox is getting gored.
It's just, I bet you most Democrats, if they start writing down what they hate this week, they'll forget they hated it last week because they just move from one thing to the next. Here's another one. January 6th. I'm so tired of Democrats talking about January 6th and what took place. When we had over the weekend, Memorial Day, we had a bunch of these Democrats and elected Democrat officials berating, who was it? That's right, ICE agents.
Yeah.
For days now, they've been berating them, attacking them.
Instead of memorializing those that deserve to be memorialized. Yep.
Yeah. Well, we see where they're at. We see where they're at. And then these Democrats are clamoring, about safe space. All the while they want a border wide open, but they want their safe space so we can't talk about something that offends them. Like I said, it's getting tiring. It's getting real tiring with these guys.
All right.
The thing is, I'm working with some younger guys, some men, and I'm talking to them about politics, and they are starting to understand a little bit about what's going on, and they're really not for all this transgender open border. So I'm hoping that we're going to solidify our base here with some actual people that are thinking why. Yeah.
Time
all
will
right.
tell.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for calling. Bye-bye now.
Yep. Bye.
All right, we're going to take a break, and then we will be back. We'll get to Robert in Midland when we return.
Ready to update your home and...
This is a test of the emergency.
Back with you, Art Lewis and Jonathan Dent in studio with me this morning on an open line edition, and we go to Midland this morning, and we talk to Robert. Good morning, Robert.
Good morning, Mr. Lewis. How are you doing today?
Doing well. Hope you are.
Good. I think you should have a class on how to create a podcast because the Steves and Carls that call in every chance they get. First off, apparently they've got nothing else to do. Find a hobby. Secondly, a lot of friends of mine, as soon as they hit the airwaves, we shut the radio off. They're not going to influence us a bit, even though they have their freedom of speech. And a podcast would give them a way to talk to everybody that wants to listen 24 hours a day. So just a suggestion for your future programs.
Well, I'd be happy to have Jonathan tell them how to set up a podcast, but we wouldn't air it. They'd have to go find their own platform to do it.
And anybody can set up a podcast.
Anybody
nowadays.
can do
That's
it
the
today.
thing.
It's just so easy.
Market for that is so saturated. But, yep, anybody can put their thoughts out there. It's like Art always says.
Here's the difference.
There it is.
Here's the difference. Podcast can be as long as they want it. When they call in the show, they're going to get a few minutes, and that's it.
Yep, that's true. But apparently they think they're influencing people, and they're not. But it makes them happy. What the heck? So you guys have a nice day. Enjoy the sunshine.
Robert, you too. Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye-bye now.
It drives some good conversation, though.
Well, yeah, and the thing, podcasts have taken off. There's no doubt about it. In the early days of it, it was just a little gnat, get rid of it.
Thought it was a fad.
Yeah. Now they've become every bit as significant as over-the-air broadcasting.
Mm-hmm.
And other things that have, too, for example, YouTubers.
Yep.
Some YouTubers. There's one I follow. His handle is Shmee150.
Okay.
He's a supercar enthusiast. And he has built over 20 years a supercar collection and a couple of million followers.
Mm-hmm.
He makes his living on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
Quite a nice one. And there are several out there like that.
Advertising, partner deals, stuff like that.
Yep. Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah. Plus what YouTube pays them by the click, There are a lot of people getting into that as a career field. They're content creators is what they're calling them.
Yep.
And, it's a different world. I didn't grow up in that world. I grew up in this world, where, matter of fact, I didn't even grow up in the FM world. I grew up in the AM world. But it's a different time, and you have to recognize it. And we do here, which is why we have 5 different podcast shows, why we stream the various live programming we do.
And you're in that world. You can find The Art Lewis Show in podcast format on Spotify, Audible, Apple Podcasts, and more.
Thank you, because
YouTube,
I wouldn't even know.
YouTube, you can just go to WSGW.com.
And what
and
makes
find
that work so well, ladies and gentlemen, is the fact that I don't have to do anything for that to happen, because I wouldn't know what to do. It left me far behind. But Jonathan, on the other hand, is a young man up and coming. You've grown up in the internet world.
Yeah. Yep.
Second nature to you.
My dad ran an IT company for when I was very little. He worked at it and basically ran it. But yeah. So I've grown up around technology and technobabble and picking up things here and there.
So let me ask you this. You've come from a religious family.
Yep.
Your dad practices as a minister,
Mm-hmm.
right? How has technology changed the church?
How has technology changed the church? Ideally, it hasn't. It shouldn't. I'll say that.
But I knew there was a but.
When we look at, I'll look at COVID especially. A lot of churches got online, live streaming all of their services. The church I attend does it. My dad actually, during COVID, as well as streaming online, he set it up so you could call into a number and listen to it over the phone. Or he doesn't do this anymore, but he had a little radio transmitter in the church building so you could sit in the parking lot, tune your radio, and listen to what was going on inside. That was just during COVID. But a lot of people stuck with that, listening in from home, doing the live streaming thing, because it's a little more convenient, right?
Well, now most of the churches are streaming their services.
Exactly, and they continue to do it, and it's a great option if you're sick. It's a great option if you have something where you cannot attend. But
it's a bad option for the collection plate.
Well, that. But also, the point of church is gathering to receive God's gifts. So, if you're
socialization, I mean, that's where a lot of people go to socialize. That is their social life.
That's a big part of it, yeah. But the primary role of the church is giving God's gifts. And if you're not there to receive them, you can hear the word, but there are things you can't receive over the live stream, especially if you sacraments like communion, baptism, things like that. So it hurts the relationship somewhat, but the church is going to do what the church is going to do. It's going to continue to proclaim the gospel, which is its job. And we were talking a little bit off air, but the Pope just released an encyclical on artificial intelligence and the development of technology in today's world and how it relates to the church.
Pro or con?
A lot of people are saying, the Pope's against artificial intelligence. But if you actually read it, that's not what he says. He says, technological advancement, we always need to be careful with it. He compares...
Well, I would agree with that.
Yeah, he gives 2 roads. The Tower of Babel, where humanity thinks they've surpassed God because they've got all these advancements, and the rebuilding of the walls of Jerusalem after exile in Babylon, where it is coming together for a common good purpose, for the glory of God. And there are some other things that he goes into when it comes to just being careful with it and maintaining humanity rather than letting technology define how we do things.
Yet, when we look back, there's nothing new about this with the church.
Not at all.
For decades and decades, there have been church services on television, from national cathedrals to local. I mean, and so it's not new that technology has found its way into the church.
No, and in many ways it's done good things.
Well, and it's probably kept people
connected
in the
some way.
religious cycle as opposed to externally tossing them, so to speak.
Yeah. Yep. Get all the Jesus you can. That's what I say. So
I don't say that, you do, but
I do.
All right.
But yeah. But there is something to be said about the role of gathering in person.
I do agree. I do think there is more to it than just listening to the word.
Yeah.
There is a socialization, camaraderie,
a reverence too.
Well, and a reverence. You're all there, and you're all in the seats and in the pews, and yeah, there is kind of a built-in reverence once you walk in the building.
Mm-hmm.
That at home you can be distracted and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I go back to the plate because they do have to figure out how to monetize it because the church depends on it.
I mean, each gives according to his ability. That's what it's. I think that's in Acts, but it's one of those. The church is going to continue to do what it does. If it needs money, it's incumbent upon the people to support the congregation to support their operations, but it's all by the grace of God. So,
all right, let's talk to Mark. Mark, good morning.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Good.
Hey, breaking news. I'm not going to run for president. Well, breaking news. Never say never. What was Governor Whitmer's thoughts in doing that yesterday, you think?
I don't know. I think she just wanted to get out of the way.
That she might run, might not run. Breaking news. Never say never.
I think she's out of it.
I think she's not going to run in this cycle, but she wants to leave her options open for future cycles.
Yeah. She didn't say
it could have been a little bit cleaner way.
She didn't say she'd never run. She only said she's not running for president right now.
Yeah, it just didn't make. I understand what she said, but she just made a kerfuffle out of really nothing. I mean, you had all these news organizations just announcing she is, she isn't, and anyhow. So in my drives, I go like from Mayo and so forth, and I go to these small towns and I see a lot of pavilions where they have vegetable stands, very nice looking pavilions. I don't get much up early in the weekends, but sometimes I do, and I see in a back alley where you can buy tomatoes in Bay City, just off the Omni Source in the back alley there. We got that nice pavilion downtown by Winona. How come they don't move the farmers market there or build a pavilion? These smaller towns have nice pavilions, but I don't know. Why isn't Bay City pushing for that?
I don't know. Bay City had in the early, they were way ahead of the game, actually, because they had a farmer's market down on Columbus, I think it was. I can't answer that. I don't know why they don't use the park facility unless there's a cost.
Yeah, they got
involved
restrooms and everything.
Yeah, unless there's a cost involved or what have you. I don't know the answer to that. But farmers markets have taken off. I mean, they are. Everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, and they're often, especially like look at Midland and Saginaw. They're on private property. They're at businesses. They're not at public land. I don't know if there's permitting involved with that consideration or what, but that would be an interesting thing to look into.
Well, if you go up to Tonawas, there, right on the water there at the park. Yeah, they have a pavilion there.
Oh, it's different everywhere. You'll find some are, some aren't. Depends where you go.
Yep.
Depends where you go.
I know they were pushing to have Bay City as a welcoming city, and I know there's probably funds to have that implemented. I just think they should use maybe those funds to implement something that can bring everybody together, and it's not political.
Yeah, well, I got
anyhow,
you. I'll grant you that. Good deal.
All right.
All right, Mark.
Take
Thanks.
care.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Yep,
Now we'll
bye.
take a break. Be back. Lines open, 989-752-6111.
Looking for a fun getaway without
be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
And welcome back. The Art Lewis Show, hour number 2 for this Friday. And sitting in with me, Jonathan Dent, this morning for Open Lines, 989-752-6111. You probably heard the news yesterday that Jill Biden is out on a book tour. She's got a new book. But she made a rather, I would say, controversial comment.
Did she write it or did the auto pen write it? Oh, no, it's
Jill.
Jill.
No,
it's Jill. Okay.
Yeah, it's Jill. But who knows? But she made a comment during an interview about the debate that was disastrous, that literally cost them the election.
Yeah.
It made them withdraw. And she said something, and I said, you got to be kidding. She said that she watched the debate and she thought he was having a stroke.
Really?
Yeah. So my first thought, if you're watching somebody and you think they're having a stroke,
If you're watching your husband,
you think he's having a stroke, what do? What's your natural reaction?
sit there and keep watching, of course.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. No.
Call an ambulance.
Yeah,
Get
get
them
someone to
the hospital.
intervene.
You
Yep.
only have a short window
Mm-hmm.
if somebody is having a stroke to stop it.
Yep.
I just couldn't believe it. But that's, and then when he came off stage, she's telling him how great he was and everything else, and I'm going, come on. So much for credibility out the window.
Yeah, is it trying to reframe it as, well, he wasn't himself, there was something else going on after the fact.
Obviously
that's what it feels like.
But to say that he's having a stroke and then you admit you didn't do anything about it.
Yeah. That doesn't make you look good.
Doesn't make you look good at all. Not at all. I mean, if I'm coming across somebody and I think they're having a stroke, 911, help.
Yep.
And particularly in the case of someone as important as a presidential candidate, or even more so, a president.
A sitting president, yeah.
You got enough help around there. I'm sure the Secret Service could have gotten him to a hospital in a hurry.
And I'm sure the network would have happily cut things off early, just, hey, something's going on.
But I don't know which one sells books.
No. Yeah, right. Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. I was listening to it and I'm saying, oh, come on, give me the rest of it. It was none.
We went up and we gave him the fast test, face arm speech.
Yeah.
He was okay.
Yeah. And another headline, I wondered how long this was going to take. When were we going to start seeing presidential polls?
We're in midterms. We haven't even made it to this November yet.
So what?
Is Whitmer leading?
No, this is a Republican.
Okay.
A poll that says Rubio catches up to Vance in a new 2028 Republican presidential poll.
I could see that.
It doesn't surprise me either, probably because I'm a Rubio fan, but that's a whole other story.
I could see Vance gaining a lot of traction over the next 2 years, though, in the bottom half of Trump's presidency here, especially if they're trying to set him up as the next candidate.
Yeah, well, absolutely, because he'll have a lot more responsibility.
Yep. Put him out there a lot more. And he's already been out there quite a bit with this Iran situation.
Well, according to this poll, Vance is at 36%, top choice among Republicans. Rubio, 35%.
Okay.
And that's a 15-point climb for Rubio.
15?
Since the poll was taken back in February. Yeah, that's a healthy gain.
It is.
And from the Democrats, guess who's on top?
No idea.
Our very own Michigan resident, Pete Buttigieg.
Buttigieg. Yep. Okay. You said resident, and I was like, okay, so it's not a sitting congressperson or anything like that. Had to
Lives in
go through the
Traverse City.
file. Yep.
It's going to be interesting. I mean, I think, that. If we just pretend for a little bit here, can you imagine Rubio against Buttigieg? Two young, forward thinkers in many ways.
Yep.
It'd be an interesting race.
My gut tells me Rubio has an edge over Buttigieg where Vance doesn't. Like, I think Rubio would perform better against Buttigieg than Vance would.
I think so, too. I think so. But it's just, here we sit at least 2 years away, two and a piece away.
Oh, yeah.
And we're already talking about it.
Things can change so much week to week.
Yeah. Minute to minute as they go. This is Dan in Bay City. Dan, good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Beautiful day out here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Nice Friday.
Yeah. You mentioned Jonathan. He's kind of religious there and up to date with a lot of the Christian philosophies.
I don't know about that.
I'm curious. Well, I'm curious how you felt about the incident with the president, and he claimed he was a doctor in that image.
Oh, yeah.
The Christ image.
Looks like he was.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just curious. Is that kind of sacrilegious in a way, or?
I mean,
should we be tampering with those kind of things in our government?
No, and I said at the time I thought it was stupid.
I thought it was stupid. I didn't like it. I thought it was gross.
Yeah. But it reflects how his mouth works too.
It does, and who am I to judge necessarily? But just looking at him, I don't think Trump has.
I have a name for it.
Yeah,
I call it a Trumpism.
Yeah, but I think part of Trump's faith is performative. That's my opinion, and I hope it's not. I hope that he has a stronger faith than he appears to me. But I definitely don't ascribe a whole lot of religion to him. So my dad has a saying, pagan's gonna pagan. It's just, that's how the world behaves. That's how people behave in the world, especially people with egos as big as Trump's. And no, I didn't like it.
Okay, I didn't think you did. But
I said it then.
And I'll tell you this, as a Jewish person from New York, I didn't like it either.
Yeah,
I thought it was sacrilegious.
Yeah, well,
it was just to me it was too much. But that's.
Yeah.
I have to tell you though, also as a New Yorker, I'm used to that from Trump.
Yeah,
he's always been that way. So it's just it's his mouth that gets him in trouble most of the time.
I have another quick comment on Rubio.
Yeah, go ahead.
Why is not Rubio in charge of negotiations with Iran?
You don't know that he's not.
I found that strange.
You don't know what happens behind the scenes. That's the key.
I know, but he's not directly. He got two guys over there that are real estate agents, and he's over in India and he's all around.
I suspect nothing happens without going through him and then Trump.
Well, I imagine, but still, it just isn't. I don't know. It's just the way this whole operation is. Next week, 3 weeks. Well, give it time. I don't like it, but it's like how many statements like that are we going to get?
Well, I mean, that's I've said from the beginning I wanted to know what the end game was, and still haven't heard it. So,
no, I guess not. And I never thought I'd be glad to say that I paid $4.49 for gas It's down to
Yeah,
$4.49.
I saw $4.39 at a station.
Yeah, I saw one of those. Yep.
Oh man, where is it? I want to get over there.
It was right over here on Tittabawassee Road. All right, we'll see you later.
Thanks.
Take care.
Have a good weekend.
Take care, Dave.
Bye.
Bye now. Breaking. We'll be back. Lines open for you.
Experience an exciting
With you in studio with me, Jonathan Dent. Since we just heard that Tigers promo.
No, we don't have to. It's Friday. We don't need to be sad today.
Okay.
That's for Saturday.
I guess. I don't know. I just, I am so disappointed. But it's still young in the season. They get 2/3 of the season to go. So,
if this is it, if they work it all out and get hot for the rest of the season and into the playoffs,
again,
I'm happy.
Yeah, me too. Right now, though, yeah. Dan had brought up the negotiations. There was a story today online that negotiators have reached an Iran deal, but Trump and Tehran must still sign off on it.
Yeah.
And it's a deal to reopen the Straits of Hormuz, extends the ceasefire. Discussions will continue over Iran's nuclear program. I think the biggest part of this is getting the Straits open again.
Yeah, and Iran, whatever, wants to maintain control of that waterway, and Trump wants nobody to be in control of it.
Nobody, including Oman.
Yeah.
And I agree with him on that. I think it's an international waterway. It should remain open.
Well,
it's not like a Panama Canal.
No.
It wasn't built.
No, but if those are the two big issues, Iran having nuclear capabilities or the Strait of Hormuz, I don't know.
Well,
any negotiation is going to require concessions, but
yeah, obviously. I think what's going to happen, though, because of the lessons learned, there has been a proposal to cut a canal through the land to bypass Hormuz. And I do believe that's probably going to go forward at some point.
I could see that.
And then that'll end the argument.
Who cares if they've got it? Yeah.
It won't matter because nobody will use it. They'll use that new canal. Time will tell, though. It's just, it's not a simple. It's easy to sit here and make simple pronouncements and all that. It's not simple.
No.
Nothing simple about it.
And we're not in the room with the negotiators, so we don't know.
No. That is for sure. All right. That's going to do it for this hour of the Art Lewis Show. As always, Jonathan, thank you much.
Thank you.
And we will take a break and come back. Also, next hour, we're going to hear from Terry Henney, who's in downtown Saginaw at a farmer's market. Of all things, we'll be back.
Sometimes life doesn't
just... For the Art Lewis Show, back Monday with lots more. Coming up, we'll hear from Terry Henney this next hour. He's down at the SVRC Marketplace in the Farmers Market. And we'll also talk about Mike's Handyman. That's coming up on Focus. It follows the news from ABC and the local report with Michael Percha. I'm Art Lewis. We'll be back right after the news.
Broadcasting from the